What is up, watch friends? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. And you know what day it is? It's Friday, so it's the Q&A. Usually it was the ask the watch ball a question, and she would ask or answer and whatever, and kind of veered away from that a little bit right now until I find it. I kind of want to do a different angle on it. So right now we're just doing the Q&A. How that works? You just send okay, let's do whatever. Just drop a comment. That's all you need to do, man. It's like, I get a lot of people that like put comments within comments in a comment thread in my YouTube channel, and I miss those. Some people send me DMs on Instagram. I don't prefer it that way because sometimes I miss those because I don't check it that much. Especially if you don't follow me on Instagram, then it comes in as a request, and usually that's kind of a spammy type thing. So just all you got to do is drop a comment on the video, just a straight up comment, not on someone else's comment or whatever. Just and it'll be featured in one of my upcoming Q&As, usually the next one, so which is on Fridays. So I hope all my US friends had a great and happy Thanksgiving. And so let's roll the intro. It'll still be the watch ball intro, but anyway, let's do this. Alrighty. Oh, and I forgot. What am I wearing today? I am wearing my Nomos Club Campus cream coral. Just put it on this blue sort of Alcantara type strap. Looks pretty cool. I like it on the blue strap. Gives it a nice little flavorly twist to it. Anyway, let's get into it. I got some questions today. So the first one comes from David, Parish Productions 5082. David, man, how are you? And I really appreciate your message you left me. That means a lot to me. So I do really appreciate it, dude. I hope you and your family had a great Thanksgiving. So here's your question. And happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Can you describe your ultimate watch buying experience? How were you treated? What you got and why it was memorable? Thank you, sir. I'm going to give you two because I can only do it that way, because the most memorable and best experiences I've had are at Bindi. The first one was earlier this year with my Rolex GMT Master 2 126710 BLNR. This is a watch I never thought I would ever be able to get. I mean, I never thought I'd be able to get a sub. You know, I always thought I was going to be in the sort of OP and Datejust area for a while, you know. But I you know, again, I have no expectations on anything. So it was kind of like, so really what had happened was, my sales, and I've told this story before, so some of you already know, my sales rep Juan sent me a text message when I bought this watch. It was earlier this year. I think it was March. I think March. And he's like, "Sir, what are you doing? Whatever. I have some good news to tell you. I want to, let's grab a drink or whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, just come over, hang out." And he actually came over to my apartment here and sat down and said, "Hey, I got you this," and he showed me on his phone, and he showed me this, and I was just like, you're joking, right? I didn't even ask for it. We had talked about it a few days prior, and then I got it. So there was really no wait for me to get it. I didn't have a wait list. There was no wait list. It was just like, I got it for you. And I was like, oh shit, dude. So yeah, this was pretty memorable, man. This is a great story. So that one, I'm going to go away from Bindi for a second because I know I talk about them a lot, but they're my AD, and they're, as far as I'm concerned, the best AD. The next one, I'm going to go with the Zodiac Super Seawolf. Which I just bought when I was in Nashville last month, and of course it comes on a seafoam green strap, not the orange one that I have on it right now. But I have to say, when I bought this at King Jewelers in Nashville, and the experience that I was also with my buddy Lincoln, and the rep Derek was just so freaking cool, man. I mean, he was just the most awesome dude to talk to. I mean, he spent all the time with us. Again, there was didn't know who he was, didn't know who I was, or whatever, any of that stuff. We were just regular dudes walking into an AD and got treated like royalty when we were there. It was amazing. So, when and the brands that they have there, Zenith, Cartier, JLC, Breguet, Glashütte Original, Geo. They got a good pre-owned section as well. They've got Norcane. They've got they had Raymond Weil, but then Zodiac, and I'm probably missing a few, but and I saw this and I was like, oh my God, I've been wanting a Zodiac and I'd been looking at them, but I'd never actually felt one or touched one in person. And then when I got this, it was like, that was it. So this means a lot in a sense that not only was the sales rep cool, not only was the AD really cool, but it sort of memorializes my trip to Nashville. And people that know me closely know I don't like to leave my area, let alone go outside or any of that, you know what I mean? So, so that's what this watch means. And so, yes, great experience. Everything was great about it. So thanks, man. Thanks for your question. The next question is actually really similar to your question, David. This is from Daniel2217. Thanksgiving Day themed question. Which watch are you most thankful for and why? And what personal and professional accomplishments over the past year are you most thankful for? Which watch are you most thankful for? You know what? Actually, I didn't pull it out of my box. I'm gonna actually say my Swatch Snoopy that my little sister gave to me. That means a lot to me. That watch has a lot of meaning because of that. As far as professional accomplishments over the year, there is really none. You know what I mean? I'm pretty much like on an even keel with everything that I'm doing in life in general. Same with personal, you know what I mean? So there was no real accomplishments that I've really done that I've gone, oh shit, yay, I'm gonna get a watch or whatever, you know what I mean? So nothing major, dude. But I appreciate your question, Daniel2217. Oh, and then there was a question that just came in yesterday and I actually wrote it down, and I kind of cut it down a little bit. This came from Absolutely Bud. This was from Instagram. Love the content and happy Thanksgiving. Thanks, dude. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. I have a few in-depth questions. I was wondering if I could purchase an hour of your time. Yeah, and I know you said you believe in paying people for their time or whatever, dude, but that's not what I'm here for, and I don't want your money. So that's why I think I said to you, just send me just whatever questions you want, dude, and I'll answer it. So anyway, here's your question. What kind of spend history do I need to pick up a green dial OP and a Batman oyster bracelet? Is there a process in which Rolex watches I need to buy to acquire the two? I bought a 41 fluted Jubilee stainless steel. I'm currently living and working in Florida and bought my watch in Florida, but my main residence is in Houston. I work around the country. I travel for the big money. What are your recommendations for building relationships with ADs when I'm not in one area all the time? That's a tough one, dude, because it's kind of like, I would put that in the same thing as if I was touring a lot, right? And I'm constantly traveling and saying, hey man, what's the best way to meet a wife while I'm on the road touring? You know, it's like, well, you're better off being home and interacting in your home environment, so to speak, your home area. If you live in Florida, that's where you bought your Datejust, I would stay there and just build that relationship. Getting the OP green shouldn't be too difficult since you already bought the Datejust, but it also depends on your relationship with the AD. What kind of, are you on a more friendly basis? Is it just strictly business? And then since you already bought the watch there, you're already established, right? Houston, if you haven't bought anything from them, I've heard that there's an AD in Houston that's not very nice, but then again, I'm only speaking from a few people that have told me this. I haven't been to the AD in Houston. Actually, I have, sorry. I can't remember my experience there, sorry. Yes. But, it's all about building the relationship, right? And it's not always the financial aspect of the relationship. I'm going to give you a perfect example, right? I have a good relationship with my AD, as you all know. Juan is a great sales rep, and he's a buddy of mine now at this point. I love Bindi in general. They're awesome, right? I have spent a lot of money there, but at the same time, let's take another friend of mine who was a viewer, became a friend of mine. His name's Lewis, and his spend history is very minimal in a sense. And his very first watch he bought from Bindi was a Rolex Explorer. So it just goes to show, you don't need to buy, everything you hear on all these other channels that are like telling you, well, you need to get this and this and this and this and this before you get a Rolex. His very first watch was an Explorer. Second watch, I believe his wife, was for his wife, which was a Nomos. And then his wife bought him a Omega Speedmaster. I believe it was a Speedmaster. It may have been a Seamaster, but I can't remember. And his next watch is going to be a GMT Batman or Batgirl, one of the two. And I know he's getting one of those. And that's really with no, you know what I mean? That's just through being super fucking cool and hitting it off. You know what I mean? And if you haven't seen my video on my lunch with my AD and Lewis, I suggest you go back and look. It's because of an interview I did with Juan and talked to Lewis and the whole thing. So check that out. Yeah, so it's just really, that's all that's about. So I wish you the best of luck, dude. So appreciate it. Ristopia 4101, question for next time. How do you think watch YouTube has changed over the time that you've been a YouTuber? For me, it's been a bad thing for the hobby. Not sure how lucrative 3,000 subscribers are, but it seems most to turn to the dark side, sadly. I'll just put it at that. Yeah, I started YouTube January 3rd or January 4th of 2017. Was it 16? 16 or 17. That was on my previous channel. And anyone who knows how I lost that channel, it was a stupid thing with Google that happened. So I've been doing YouTube for quite some time. Back then it was only like Paul Pluta and maybe a couple others, and this channel's only been about a year and a half. As far as this is more in depth, I think, to, for instance, when I had my relationship with Juan at Bindi, I had very few subscribers on my channel, and that was my previous channel. So they didn't even know what the hell I did, you know what I mean? So my YouTube channel had nothing to do with me getting the watches that I've gotten. Not sure how lucrative $3,000 is, or 3,000 subscribers. Yeah, I've got just over 3,000 subscribers, and the money's not good. Average about 150, 60 bucks a month. And I think I'm about $200 for the next month. But you know what? I don't do it for that, and I don't really care. So again, I've stated that before. It's like I could demonetize my whole channel. I wouldn't give a shit. But it helps because I am putting the work in. So, if it pays the electricity bill or whatever, then that's cool. As far as how has YouTube changed, it has changed a lot. And yeah, kind of a more negative thing. You get these gray market channels and these dudes that are just, I don't know, man, all these young kids. And it's great to see young people into watches, man, but there's a negative sort of connotation with everything where, it's more, it's a little darker, you know what I mean? Like you got like that channel, The Gray Market, or, Luxury Bazaar. And that to me, it looks like a sweatshop boiler room, back in years and years and years ago in the 80s, before you make it as a musician, everybody does telemarketing, selling toner, ribbons, or whatever the hell it may be. And it's a boiler room type operation. It's kind of dirty. And that's kind of what I get from those types of channels, you know what I mean? It's just more of a dirty and negative connotation on it. When in actual fact, I prefer the pleasant side of going to my AD and buying a watch. And, there was a time where buying a Rolex was very exclusive. And now it seems like, you get these 18-year-old punks that have APs that have these shitty attitudes, you know what I mean? It used to be, it's different. Anyway, I don't want to get too in depth with it, but yeah, so I don't know if I answered your question or not, man. But thanks for your question, Ristopia 4101. At Geno, Geno 816, Vacheron, Zenith, Grand Seiko, my 3 favorite watch brands. I'd love to get your opinion of Grand Seiko. Vacheron, yes. Zenith, of course. Grand Seiko, I've tried, man. Can't get into them at all. Not saying they're a bad watch. It's just not my thing. I don't have it. The opinion I have of them doesn't mean anything about what their watchmaking capabilities are. You know, it's just, it seems like a very cold brand. You know what I mean? It's, there's no heart and soul into it. I think it's more of a, you know, but then again, there's Seikos that you can buy at just a few $100s, under $1,000, that to me would be equally as fine as getting a Grand Seiko. So I think there's just so many of them, you know what I mean? There's so many different types of Seikos, and Grand Seiko definitely is on a different level, but don't have much of an opinion, man. But all I can say is I've tried on a bunch of them. I've looked at them several times, and just, they don't appeal to me. So, but thank you for your question, man. Beef65320. Hi, Tony. Love your show and haven't missed one since finding your channel. Thanks, man. When did you find my channel? Last week? Question, opinion. Went to my local AD holiday party this weekend and someone was wearing a Patek Tiffany Nautilus. Small family-owned AD in Boulder, Colorado. They carry Rolex, Cartier, Tudor. Very nice, but nothing too extravagant. Curious what your thoughts are on this. He clearly has money and could have just worn a nice watch from a brand they carry. I thought it was a D-bag move. But your thoughts? I did ask to check it out and he showed me. Wasn't really impressed. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? That's where you don't know who that person is necessarily, what their relationship is with the actual AD or the owner. Maybe he was an outsider that just got an invite in and he doesn't have any of those brands. But what he does have is he's got a Patek Nautilus, you know what I mean? If he's from the area or he's been there or he knows the AD, whatever, then yeah, man, I think it's only courteous to wear a brand. If you're going to a party, a watch event at an AD, and you're not wearing what that AD has. Now, I'm not talking about someone who can't afford it, say like they wear a Timex or whatever, and they're looking forward to getting their first watch or a luxury watch from them, then that's fine as well. But rolling in with a Nautilus at a place where they don't sell Patek is kind of a, you know, I wouldn't do it. But again, you don't know what that person's relationship is to that AD and how they got invited or what their scenario is. So as far as you not being impressed, yeah, I mean, that's cool. I mean, I love the Nautilus, but it's what it is, right? So thanks for your question, man. Jose Pammy. Yes, I know you. As a newbie, I need your advice again. I am currently on the wait list for a Batgirl and 36mm OP Candy Pink. And with Grand Seiko's announcement of its US exclusive watches, one of them is the SBG W313 Hanami. Do you think purchasing it will be worth it while I wait for my OP? Or should I just wait till I get allocated for the Candy Pink? Thanks, Tony. Pam. All right, you shop at Bindi. I know that you've got, your husband just got a watch, right? And you got a watch. That Candy Pink OP's not going to be as easy to get as probably the two watches you already got, you know? It may take a while to get it. So, and I did check out that Seiko, the Grand Seiko. If you like the Grand Seiko and you really like the brands, you know, I know I just did in my previous question, I don't really like them, but if you really do love the brand and you like the watch, then get it. And then when your pink one comes in your OP, then, you know, figure it out, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't sit around because you're waiting for two really sort of in-demand watches. Believe it or not, that pink OP is not too easy to come by, you know what I mean? And of course, neither is the GMT, you know? So yeah, because you'll be waiting a while. And if it comes in, you know what I mean? Like tomorrow, then you, great, awesome. That's really cool. I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, you know, if you really want the pink, and plus, you know, if you're going to get the GMT, is it for yourself or for your husband? But if you get the GMT, this Grand Seiko, then you've kind of, you know, you got something different in your collection, right? So it's up to you. But if you really do like the Grand Seiko, I'd go with the Grand Seiko and then wait till the OP comes in, you know, and then, or the GMT. So thanks. I always appreciate your comments and stuff like that. So, Gordon Harwell, it's pretty incredible. How do you get invited to those events? I'm stuck in California for a while, but you sold me on a visit to Finks. Happy Thanksgiving and still loving your single. The single is my new song. Thank you, brother. Brother, I like that. You appreciate that and like the song. That means a lot to me. How do you get invited to the watch events? You know, you send them a threatening letter. If I don't get to go, no, you don't do that. It's all about, again, the relationship you have with your AD and whatever. You know, it's all just about how you're building your relationship, and you know, and then next thing you know, you get invited to these things. So I mean, like obviously with Bindi, I've been going there since 2018. Finks invited me. I only been in there one time, so but you know, it's just how it goes sometimes, right? So best of luck with everything, dude. Bad form Tommy. Is it weird to get my salesman at the AD a gift card for Christmas to a restaurant he likes? He sold me 2 pieces in June and September, our first Rolex. No, dude. I mean, if you've already got a relationship with them, you know, like on a cool level, then no, absolutely, by all means. I mean, if you'd never met the dude, you walk in going, "Hey, I got you a gift card or dinner or whatever," that's a little creepy, right? But no, it's all good to do things like that sometimes. You know what I mean? It shows that you respect what they've done for you. And again, it's all how you do it, right? But just to show your gratitude for what they've given you, then yeah, by all means, go ahead and do that. Now I know that there'll be some comments. I shouldn't have to be thankful for getting a Rolex when I'm spending my hard-earned money. I get it, you know what I mean? But yeah, that dude, yeah, no, I wouldn't worry about it. Aaron Clark 919. Love the content. I appreciate everything you do for the watch community. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that you appreciate what I appreciate when we're appreciating. I have a question for the Q&A Friday. Bittersweet moment. I got the call from an AD in Miami that I haven't bought anything from to pick up a Datejust. I wanted the same watch from another AD in Miami that I bought a woman's Datejust from. In your opinion, should I feel weird about it considering it's not from the AD that I have a purchase history? And do you think I'm making the wrong decision based on the fact I want more watches? If you only bought one watch from the other AD and you're already getting a call from another AD, then I don't see a problem with it. It's up to you. You know, like Datejusts aren't that difficult to get, you know. Some of them are still difficult depending on the variation. You know, if you want the Wimbledon or the motif dial 36 fluted bezel Jubilee bracelets, you know, those ones are a little bit harder to come by. But no, I wouldn't feel bad about it. You know what I mean? It's just, it's one of those things. If you want the watch, get the watch. You know what I mean? If you're about building a relationship with one AD, stick with them. And if you want that long term, then I would do it that way. Anyway, thanks for your question, dude. I'm sorry this video is getting long. Hey, Tony, I was on the waiting list for the green oak. This is from, sorry, my watch collecting, I think it's Journey. I didn't all print out, but my watch collecting J ... Hey, Tony, I was on the waiting list for a green OP in 41 millimeter, but I decided that I don't want it anymore because I have the money together for a sub date and I just want to have another everyday watch with a date. Next to my vintage Datejust Plus, the 41 millimeter seems just too big for my 6.5 inch wrist. In my opinion, it's too big to be dressy and too plain to be an actual sports watch. So I went to my AD to get off the list. What's your opinion on my move? Greetings from Switzerland. Hey man, thanks for watching in Switzerland. But you're talking about a sub date, man. That's a 41 millimeter too, you know what I mean? So the OP is a 41 millimeter and the sub's 41 millimeter. Now I get it. The Submariner is a sport watch, it's a dive watch, so it's going to be bigger. So maybe that's what you're saying. But if you're saying that a 41 millimeter overall is too big for a 6.5 inch wrist, then you know the sub's a 41. That's another reason why I love wearing the 36 OP, because I have a 6.5 inch wrist too. This is a 38 millimeter watch that I'm wearing right now. My biggest watch, well, no, my biggest watch is a U-boat, but my Zodiac is 41 millimeter, and I almost think that's too big. My sub's too big. Now that I've been wearing the 40 millimeter GMT, you know, so, you know, if that's what you're wanting to do is get off the list for that, then that's fine. You know, he's going to appreciate the fact that you're honest with him. You know what I mean? And then not buying the green OP or the green OP comes in, then he calls you and you say, no, I don't want it anymore. I want a sub instead. It'd be like, what, really? So you did the right thing by doing it that way. Then you've added to this. Plus, I've been on the list for the sub for a little over 7 months. I purchased a Tudor GMT, a Cartier tank, and also replaced my Jubilee for the date just there. And when I went there last Friday, I had already a nice conversation with the sales assistant. I've already met him several times. We ended up talking for around an hour about all different watches, and he put a note into my request for the sub that I'm really interested in. Do you think this increases my chances? Yeah, I mean, if you got a good connection with him and you're just rapping and talking, and not always about watches either, just generally, then yeah, I think you got a good chance, man. So having said that, this video's long, so if anyone's still watching, I appreciate it. Appreciate everyone who likes and subscribes, and happy holidays, everyone, and we'll see you on the next one.